Hi guys, welcome to our Live at 5 with the Freedom Angels. We have no idea what's going on. I think my computer got hacked again. Denise is not with us, but she should be with us. So we're just gonna start this live and hope that she can get on with us. But for now, my name is Heidi and I'm one of the co-founders of Freedom Angels and I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. Tara?
And hi, I'm Tara, co-founder of Freedom Angels in the Northern Sierra Nevada mountains of California. Denise was with us on, and then Heidi's computer crashed, and now for whatever reason we can't get her back on. She sent a message.
So yeah, I've sent her messages. If anybody watching knows Denise, let her and has her have her number. Please reach out to her and tell her we're trying to get her on. Yeah, this is really crazy. At least I can see the messages coming through on Facebook, meaning people are watching. There's quite a few on right now. So, yeah. Go ahead and talk for a minute while I reach out to her one more time and say, can you jump on?
Well, we're getting ready for going back to the Capitol on Thursday. I think we posted it on the Freedom Angels page, but it's the National Day of Prayer.
Here she comes. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Okay.
Oh, good. Something happened to my screen.
Oh, well, interesting. She's here now, or she's coming on. Sorry, guys. Thank you for being patient with us. That was bizarre.
That was very strange. Sorry.
No, it was us. I mean, it was my computer. They crashed my computer.
Oh, well, some kids are playing outside, so you're going to hear all that wonderful noise. We're on live. It says we're live. Hi, everyone. My name is Denise. I am a freedom activist in the state of California, San Joaquin County, and I'm one of the founders of Freedom Angels.
We already introduced ourselves. So we were just talking, because we've been on for a couple minutes, because we're like, we have to get something going.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my phone.
Make sure it's on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to say that we are coming back this Thursday. We just announced that we have a bus that we secured. That was a humongous step of faith for us to do, but it looks like the bus is already halfway filled and we just announced it like an hour or two ago. So guys, remember our link if you would like to jump on that bus to reserve a seat, or if you want to donate to the bus, the link is freedomangels@eventsmart.com. So it works both for donations and to reserve a seat. It is coming up from Southern California. As of right now, there are 3 stops that it will be making on its way up to the Capitol. It will be arriving at the Capitol at 8 a.m. on Thursday morning to join us for our gathering where we are gonna support the men in blue, the men and women in blue. And it's a time to heal from what happened last Friday and to extend an olive branch and then to have a church service, to have prayer, worship, a time with Pastor Tim Thompson. So we're very excited, and there are buses. So yes, the bus seats cost $20 a person or $40 a family. Remember, we're severely underwriting that. So we still need a lot of donations. The bus costs much more than that. So anybody who's looking to donate, no matter where you live in the country, we welcome your donations. Freedom Angels is a 508c1a. That means that all donations that you send to us are tax deductible.
And remember, there is a drop down. If you can't do the $20, there is a drop down for a $3 campaign. You know, $3 times all of our followers and people who do want to help from around the country really does add up, and it really does help. You know, Heidi has been really working behind the scenes with one of our coordinators, back end angels, who you know, took this head on. So it does take money. We do only work off donations. We are going to have porta potties there. We will, you know, bring the bus up, and hopefully we can get that bus completely filled. This is going to be a day to, like Heidi said, a day to heal from what happened and to pray on, you know, all the things that we're going through. And Pastor Tim, I mean, he's just amazing. He just talks with fire, and it lights something up, something of faith and something of, you know, you can keep going. And I'm really excited to have this service with him. So it's going to be a great day. Bring a lunch, we're going to try to see if we can get some donations of waters and, make it a family day, because we're still safe. What happened last week was a really bad call from Governor Newsom, and he put these officers in a really bad situation. So we're going to enjoy our day, another peaceful protest. I hope to see everybody out there and they're mingling and having those one-on-one connections that we miss so dearly.
Yeah, so somebody is asking about the buses and where the stops are. So the first stop is going to be in San Juan Capistrano. That's going to be at midnight. So let's say 11:59 p.m. So you guys understand what that is, 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. And then it's going to go up to Yorba Linda, and that stop will be at 12:30. And then the third stop is going to be at Kettleman City off of I-5, and that one will be roughly around 3:30 in the morning. So we do realize this is great sacrifice to grab the kids and do everything and get to these buses to come up so that you're there by 8 o'clock in the morning. And then the bus will depart Sacramento around 4 o'clock to head back down. Again, last time that we had buses on Friday, we were able to arrange some other stops. We can't promise anything, but obviously, yes, reach out to us and we will try and do what we can. So make sure if you're doing that, though, you are emailing us freedomangels@protonmail.com. The subject needs to say buses 5-7, because we're triaging as we go down. So buses 5-7 if you want to ask questions if there can be any more stops on. But while we're talking about the buses, can I read a testimonial of somebody who came on a bus? I'm not saying their name, but I have to tell you that we have been getting amazing feedback, even though it was horrific how the event was ended on Friday. Let me just tell you that this is a testimonial from somebody who was on that bus, was there with their kids, and she just said, even with everything that happened on Friday, that was the happiest and most stress-free I've been in so long. It was strange. The kids and I were talking about how wonderful it was to be around people, to hug, talk, play, and enjoy each other. It made coming back to the reality in our neighborhood extra hard, because she's more isolated and alone, and to be able to come together and be with that many people with her children, and even in the midst of her children having to witness that egregious overstepping that Newsom ordered, she still said it was the happiest and most stress-free time she's encountered in a long time, guys. That's a mother with kids. She was there just mother with her kids. It's the power of our community.
And it's very much needed right now, as you can tell. I mean, we have so many people who are so isolated. Depending on your neighborhood, you really are in your house all day long and scared to go outside because you're kind of scared of snitches. Here, we are all like-minded. We are all just trying to do the best we can to, continue to fight for our freedoms. Now, through any kind of, hate mail, hate messages, or any comments on here, the reason why we're here is to fight for your right to even say that. We support freedom of speech in all forms, even if we don't agree with it, even if it, bothers us. We are supporting your right to say so. So at the end of the day, you can thank us later, but we're going to continue to do it. And it doesn't really matter of any kind of negative feedback or people saying, I hope you die, or I hope you don't get these buses. God's going to provide for what we need. He already has. I mean, I don't know how the heckers that was done in 24 hours to get 2 buses up from Southern California to Sacramento. I mean, it just doesn't happen. But what we've been given is this divine intervention, and everything that we've been needing has been provided for us. So the people who are negative on these posts, what you're doing is you're just bumping our post up onto your timeline. So it's giving us a bigger platform. So thank you.
And I wanted to read one more testimonial. This is somebody who came on a bus also. And this was her first time ever coming to any protest of any kind whatsoever. She's a 63-year-old woman, and she said, so I wanted to share my truthful experience of what happened at Friday's protest in Sacramento. It was a lovely, fun, music-filled event. There were men, women, and children from all over the state. Every race was represented. Yes, there were some Trump signs and a few people were capitalizing on selling merchandise they shouldn't have been doing, but yes, that happened. But however, that's not what it was about. I got there at 8 a.m. with my bus group. A new friend and I sat on a bench and watched people show up. A cop, she's meaning a CHP went by on a bicycle and said with a smile, "Good job practicing social distance, ladies," which we clearly were not. We laughed. We formed a large prayer circle before the crowd came to the Capitol steps. The crowd grew. There were picnics on the grass to the right of the main entrance. There were many families and moms with children. Children were playing, climbing trees. People were walking around with signs. Some had megaphones chanting. Then the suited up riot CHP lined up in front of the front doors of the Capitol with no warning and no incentive to do so. They warned the group and cited a statute about health hazards once and said to disperse. This was after the entire crowd was present. It was clear that this was planned to lull many into a sense of security and then to advance. The crowd would not move and stood their ground. Some were loud and yelling at the cops, but most turned their backs and just stood in peaceful resistance. 2 more warnings and then the CHP moved forward. I was not near that area, nor did I have any clue what was happening, other than I heard the yelling getting louder and that some people were saying something was about to happen. I saw the crowd at the steps, but chose to listen to some speakers at the other end of the Capitol entrance because that's where our speakers were from a boat. I did not know at the time that CHP was right there. In front of the boat, there is where the speakers were, and that's where I was listening. I had no clue about what was going on. I kept thinking, blessed are the peacemakers. Up on the steps, videos and pictures show cops formed a line and took a step. 33 people, she's saying 33, and some people are saying 33, I heard it was 32, were taken and cited for not moving, including a guy in a handicapped scooter. Some CHP poked people in the back and hit people on the back of the knees. Most cops, though, were respectful and procedural. The rest kept moving a step at a time all the way to the sidewalk. I truly wish everyone there would have just sat down like a good old 1960s sit-in. This was a time to take a stand. I kept thinking, 6 million willingly went into train cars. When do we stop this madness? Now, by the time the CHP got to me and my friend, the grass had been cleared. She was scared, and so I didn't want to leave her alone. We left. I actually regret that. I will return to the Capitol again with more resolve and determination than ever before. There were thousands and thousands of us, more driving and honking and awesome signs. This event got little true press of what accurately happened, but I'm here to make sure that the story is told far and wide about what truly happened. God bless you.
That's a really amazing testimony.
And that person has already told me when I said we're coming back on May 7th, I'm there. I'm back from Southern California.
I love it that it gave her even more resolve. And I fully agree. Sit down in peaceful, nonviolent resistance. If thousands of people sit down, what can they do?
That's exactly what we're going to need.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I was going to say, right before we got on this live, I saw a video that someone put out that we'll post on Freedom Angels, and it's from resistance to this lockdown, to the reaction to the virus from around the world. There's shots from just the other day, May 1st, at the Capitol in Sacramento. There's shots from all over California, from all over the country, and from countries all over the world. And when you watch that and see it, you will see that you are not alone, that you are on the right side of history, and that this is what you do. You gather together and you stand strong together in peaceful, nonviolent resistance to the tyranny. Because this is straight up tyranny. It's fascism and tyranny. And when, really keep looking for the images from around the state, your community and the country and around the world that shows how it's done, because that's what we all need to do. We need to model and look at just exactly how you do this and have it give us courage to not stand down in the face of this. The only thing protecting human and constitutional rights right now is us and the brave people that may be in management in our counties. If they are stepping up on our side to protect these our rights, then we need to support them and back them. We need to help people who are opening businesses. We need to get people back to work, because every second and minute that goes by right now, more people are suffering economically, physically, emotionally, and there's no end in sight. I think people can see by now that the governors and the public health and county health officers who have seized emergency powers and and executive orders are not making the appropriate course correction, and that we have to keep taking it into our own hands to do so. So like we've been saying from the beginning of this lockdown, work locally, reach out to local law enforcement, to your county board of supervisors and county board of commissioners. They're the ones that appointed the public health officers. Reach out to the business management entities, the mayors, the town council, everyone you know, and help bring up help open up the counties, help fight the tyranny and the executive orders that are illegal at this point.
At this point, we really have to show our teeth with Gavin. I mean, he is pushing, and he keeps pushing his unjust policies. He's acting like a king. He's telling us you can go play basketball. That's completely okay. I mean, he's giving us a list on how we're going to be living our life. And when people feel like, you protest after protest after protest, these are growing by each and every protest. And to be at the Capitol, and when he's telling us we can't be there, it's really showing our teeth and showing our numbers. And that woman had it exactly right. We should have sat down. Everybody should have sat down. This is how we're going to hold the line. It's not going to be easy. I mean, it's not going to, it can get scary, but it's a lot scarier to think if we don't do this, what exactly he's going to be doing with our state. So, that's an option. When you see something like that happening, sit down. We have to hold the line. And, it's a really big thing for us to be asking followers to do that, and people to do that in California, because it's a scary situation. But when you have your like-minded friends, and when you have thousands of people who have your back and who are going to be there and sit down with you, it really, it changes the whole tone. What we've done has really changed my perspective on how we're fighting. And it's really, it's a great experience, really, to be able to sit there and hold a line with your friends.
Yeah, I actually did, when it was just moments before I knew it was they were just about to get us. I had this thought, I was like, I need to tell everybody to sit down. And just as I was saying it is when I got ripped and thrown down. So obviously this woman who wrote to us was thinking the same thing. I know there was probably other people in the crowd thinking the same thing. So obviously going forward, this is what we want to model: peaceful, nonviolent resistance. And sitting down would be one of the best, firmest, calmest ways to hold our ground.
I know I always think of that scene from the movie Selma, where everyone just sits down and Martin Luther King stands there at the other side while they go to arrest him. Yeah, I think the one thing that I think we talked about it yesterday, I can't even remember, but one of the most empowering and powerful things that came out of May 1st was seeing such a large and diverse crowd work. Well, everyone was peaceful from the entire day. Like the testimonies, like everyone said, this is like a July 4th party. It was like, all the different pieces. But when the CHP was ordered and followed through with the orders to advance on the peaceful people stayed. They worked together and stayed peaceful. They literally helped each other out and took care of each other. And though you heard people yelling, "Remember your oath, officers, remember your oath," and were yelling if they were concerned about someone that was getting ripped away, it stayed peaceful the entire time to the end. And that really is a testament to that everyone is in this together for the right reasons, understanding together the importance of this moment in time and what we are standing to protect, and that we are on the right side of history.
Yes, and I do firmly believe now, after experiencing that Gavin's goal was to incite violence. He was hoping that huge show of, riot gear and everything, that it would throw the crowd into a frenzy and that violence would erupt, and then they could say, "See, Here we go, martial law. And this is what we have been saying from day one. That is not who we are. That is not what we represent. We never, ever, ever call for that. And we will be the model. We will hold the line. We will show the world what it means to stand in peaceful resistance. So at no time ever are we ever asking anybody at our events to engage in escalating or fighting back. We hold our ground in solid, peaceful resistance.
You know, Gavin's really banking on the fact that now the men are involved. You know, for us, it's always been women. You know, I know each patriot has their own movement, but we have always worked about 90% with women, and women are usually peaceful and passive. And now that we have the men who are very pissed off of how their wives and their friends are being treated, now Gavin is hoping that he can continue to poke the bear in hopes that these men are going to react. And can I just say, I mean, over and over again, we have said time and time again, that the media has tried to change the narrative. You know, what's considered Nazi, what's considered white power. And we've been working really closely with the Proud Boys. And the Proud Boys have a really bad rap. You know, they've been fighting their different fight. And so they're all, you know, they've been in a different movement. But what we experienced on the May 1st was they worked solidly as a team, and they worked closely with us, and they literally saved, I mean, they saved their leg. They, you know, they
saved our lives. Truly, they saved our lives. They saved other people's lives. They worked in such synchronicity with all the other patriot groups. I am so proud to say that I stand with the Proud Boys.
Yes, and we had California Valley Patriots, Lou, who was one of the arrestees. And I mean, he was arrested because he was protecting us. And this is what's happening now. The men are starting to get pissed off that the women are in the front line, and they're saying, no, this is not right, and how dare you do this to these women. So I, again, give thank you, like from my heart, thank you to California Valley Patriots, to Lou especially for going in the basement with us, and to the Proud Boys. I mean, these people get a bad rap. It's like they're these gun-toting, you know, anti-American people, when it's completely opposite. So thank you guys, if you guys are watching this, for doing what you did for us, and hopefully we get to see you guys on Thursday. But this is the call to action for the men to start getting together and start talking to these local groups that are filled with men and ready to rock and roll when it's time. So come out, you know, bring your families, bring your husbands, bring your brothers. It's time for everyone to start reaching out to their community and saying, this is enough. We need to start opening California. We need to start getting an army together of people to protect, just like that woman who opened up her salon and had people outside of her business protecting her business.
Yes. And I know that the California Valley Patriots will stand firm to protect businesses too. They will, and I know the Proud Boys will, and I know the 3% Originalists were. There were so many groups that came that people don't realize that are standing with us. Some want to stand more quietly than others, and even the ones we named are probably going to be like, what? You don't have to bring attention to us, but we want to say, you guys don't understand how many people are coming together for the cause of freedom, because they can see past the media headlines that are happening, the divisive nature that the governor and our media wants us spun into. Go ahead, Tara.
Well, rest assured, everyone there, especially, you know, Central Valley Patriots and the Proud Boys, they helped to de-escalate this. All the men there, every one of them stood strongly and firmly and de-escalated. There was never, I mean, it was literally exactly the show of strength and nonviolent force, like standing in that power that is going to dismantle this tyranny. That is exactly what's going to dismantle it. The way the people of all ages and, you know, races and genders stood strong together, strong and nonviolent. And it breaks every stereotype, every divisive, you know, framing, every dismissive framing that they want to use to discredit and distance and divide. And it breaks it to the ground, and that is how we're going to win this together. And you know, you talk about like people being angry. I mean, that is the natural human emotion for the situation that our, you know, our state and our country is in, the world is in right now. People are suffering and dying every second. I mean, right now, right now, we should have people going to every nursing home and every hospital, if you have a loved one or a friend or family member in one of them, and demanding to be let in. You know, demand, give me whatever gloves or mask you want me to have, but let me in that door and make sure that my loved one is not suffering alone, whether they have cancer or Alzheimer's, or maybe you're infected with COVID. And are they getting the best care, the best therapeutics for whatever it is they're dealing with? There's so many things that need to change like immediately right now. And instead, all we get are these crazy further restrictions from our governor. And you know, besides that, how we can help businesses get open, every person that can step forward and open their business, all the ones that are going public with it, just, I can't commend you enough for your bravery. And I understand you're doing it because you have no other choice. And whatever we can do, you know, we all need to help support. When we see someone locally that is stepping out, we need to find every way we can to bring any support and resources to them locally in their communities. Tell your friends, whatever it might be, and patronize them, give them their support, give them support, let law enforcement know you support them. So many pieces to this. But we have to take this in our hands. If we don't, we can't sit around waiting. I feel blessed not to have a loved one, an elder in a nursing home right now. We can't sit around waiting to be allowed to see them, or to, you know, wonder if they're being treated with the best medicines and the best care. I mean, in the best of times, you need an advocate with you in a nursing home or a hospital.
Right. So, you know, to open up California, when we're at the Capitol, remember there's a bunch of local delis there. If you're a storefront owner, open up your doors. Let us go patronize your restaurant, especially on days that we're at the Capitol. There's no food, and there's families who, you know, they need to feed their children, just like Labu in front of the California Capitol. They opened their doors and they were able to make payroll. This is how we're going to open it. So if you do have a food truck in Sacramento County, if you have a storefront next to the Capitol, let us know and we will send traffic your way. We will do everything we possibly can to uplift your store and to get you some foot traffic. And just to, I see somebody saying here, they are looking on, you know, on Facebook for Proud Boys, and all they see is white supremacy. Please know the narrative that has been put forth by mainstream media, by, you know, other people who call themselves a different name. I'm not going to say on here because we'll get flagged. This is exactly how they call us, anti-vaxxers. They call us something so other people, it can be so polarizing. Other people can say, oh no, I'm not going to talk to them. I am Mexican. There are Proud Boys that are Mexican, Puerto Rican, Black, white. If it was really that type of organization, they would not have laid down so much of their life for me. You know, Heidi's half Mexican. I mean, these are the things we have to start changing the narrative, because if we start accepting these groups and start seeing what they really are, they're Americans and they love their country, and, you know, they're going to fight for their country. And this is how we're going to take back our country, instead of just sitting back at home and looking at headlines and, you know, believing what you see on Facebook. There's so much deeper than that. So again, California Valley Patriots, they are amazing former military and people who really do love their country. They're just ashamed of their government. So please, you know, keep an open mind, understand what the narrative is trying to be put forth. But if you do have a location close to the Capitol, let us know. Let us drive traffic to you. Open your doors, open your stores. It's really important that we start opening up California and start working together to patronize these places.
Heidi, are there any questions that people have that we can answer? Anything you're seeing coming in?
Well, some of the things they're saying, I'm like, there's so much we want to do. People are asking to donate. So again, if you're donating, that's Freedom Angels at freedomangels.eventsmart.com. So that helps fund our events. Again, we are all volunteers and none of us are taking a dime. We just need the cost to go directly to help fund the buses, to help fund the porta potties, a sound system, and some incidental supplies for our olive branch ceremony that we're going to have. As far as people are talking about t-shirts, that they want one of our shirts, we want shirts too. We want a logo. We want to be able to do this, guys. It's literally just the four of us. I mean, Stephanie's behind the scenes. We're all mothers. We all homeschool. We all have other things. We need help. We need a team to come around us. That's been the hardest thing. We need help with a website. But we need money more than anything else to do this. But yes, some amazing father made our logo for us that's behind Denise. And we want it on shirts. We want other things. It's just right now we're literally in a war right now. And we have no time to do anything aside from help get the troops motivated and get the troops into action and to identify the targets and go. So I love how much do you need?
Open the safe back up.
Yeah, we have to open the safe back. We do. We have to open the state back up. So we are single focused on that mission and bringing people closer to God. But yes, someone's asking about our arrest too. We still are working to make sure everybody who was arrested on 5/1, you need to email us, freedomangels@protonmail.com. In the subject, put arrest 5-1, because yes, we are still working on some legal action there too as well. But before we even go there, we have to go back to the Capitol on the 7th for a day of reconciliation and healing. That healing from the trauma has to be addressed first before we can move forward. I mean, move forward effectively. Yes, anybody could move forward and just sweep trauma under the rug, but that's not who we are. That's not what we represent. We want to come together and heal, and then we're going to move forward even faster and harder. Just watch out, Gavin.
We're coming for you. Can't wait.
I know.
Tyrant.
So donations, they're asking donations again. And if somebody's seen this, if they could copy. So it's freedomangels.eventsmart.com. The best way, though, to get donations, I'm going to tell you, is Zelle. When you go through our freedomangels.eventsmart.com, there's a lot of information you have to give, and it takes some fees, and there's some time in transferring the money. But we want to make it as easy as possible. So if that's what you want to do, go there. The best way is to do it through Zelle. Zelle is a part of all major banking. So you just get on your mobile banking or your web-based banking, like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, all those major ones. You go in there, you hit the Zelle button, you say transfer money from your account, and you add us as an account to be transferred to. And when you're setting us up as an account, you just use our email, freedomangels@protonmail.com. Then you put in the amount that you want to donate to us. If you want, you can put a message to us, and then you hit click send. When you do Zelle, it is free and instant. There are no charges to you, and there are no charges to us, and it instantly goes to our Bank of America account. So we very much appreciate that. We also can accept checks or cash. You know, there were people at the protest that did hand us on 5/1, they did hand us some cash and some checks made out to Freedom Angels Foundation. So yes, we appreciate that as well. Zelle is ZELLE. It's a part of all major banks.
Yeah. So if you have a beautiful talent of, websites and things like that, we would love to hear from you. We are not tech savvy. I can barely get on Zoom.
I mean, if you had,
and our beautiful friend Kim.
That was
here.
was me. Somehow I tried to respond and I can't respond.
Got it. Our beautiful friend Kimberly has said that she will help, but we're always looking for help behind the scenes. We are really laser focused, so it's much appreciated if we can get your guys' expertise. Were you gonna say something, Tara?
Just any other questions, because we have been so busy working on stuff. We haven't even kept up with like the last 24 hours of headlines. Is there anything anyone wants to talk about or any questions?
So there's a delay, so we'll have to wait. Again, we're telling you guys, if you want information about the buses, you need to go freedomangels@protonmail.com, subject buses 57. If you're arrested, you're sending it to freedomangels@protonmail.com, subject arrest 5-1. This is how we triage. Donating, thank you so much for donating. Please make a post with non-Zelle. I will be donating. Please make a post with non-Zelle. So if you're not using Zelle, then you go to freedomangels.eventsmart.com.
And we'll update this post with all the links that you need to just make it easy, just one click, and you're able to get going. So yes, please, thank you guys for any and all donations. This goes directly to the action plan that we're doing. I mean, we don't get paid for this. We're volunteering, and we just really just want to make sure that we're able to get as many people to the Capitol to show Newsom our numbers and to show them that we're just, you can't get rid of us that fast. You're not going to threaten us. You're not going to coerce us. You're not going to use the, the law enforcement to do your dirty work. We're going to come back, and you can't tell us how to practice our faith either.
No. So Tara,
And so some of our good friends,
Tara,
I was going to say some of our good friends. Oh.
I was going to let you answer the question, but somebody did ask, tell us more about the 7th, what's happening on the 7th. So go ahead.
You can go ahead and answer that.
So on the 7th, we're coming back together to the Capitol. We are going to stand in solidarity. We, the people, will be the thin blue line between the tyrant, known as Gavin Newsom, and the CHP. We are never, ever going to allow the tyrant to get in the way of the CHP. We, the people, will be that thin blue line. And so it's an olive branch ceremony that we are coming to do to recognize and honor the CHP, to heal. Pastor Tim Thompson will be coming. He will be giving a short sermon. There will be prayer. There's some other things that we have in mind that are going to be happening, but it's going to be a day focused on the National Day of Prayer and Healing and Reconciliation. And we absolutely want to honor law enforcement because they need to be with us. And if we don't make that human connection and we just throw more hate back at them, why would they ever want to be with us? I don't want to be around somebody who's full of hate. So we're going to go in love. The other thing too is we're asking everybody, because we're going to be honoring law enforcement, please dress in blue or anything that honors law enforcement. Again, it's still freedom of expression and whatnot. So, you don't have to wear blue, but that's our request. Remember, these are always family-friendly events, so no violence and nothing vulgar in what you're wearing or your signs or anything like that. The time is at 11 o'clock is when it's going to start on the west side. We do not have Venmo. Yeah, we don't have Venmo, sorry. Our choices for donations are Zelle or freedomangels.eventsmart.com, which accepts all major credit cards and debit cards, or you can write us personal checks, Freedom Angels Foundation, and or give us cash.
All right.
As far as the, say honoring law enforcement, I mean, you've heard us, if you know us, you've heard us say, always, reach out to law enforcement in your locally, wherever you are, and make friends with them and get to know them and let them know that you're going to stand and expect them to stand and honor their oath to protect the Constitution. That didn't happen on May 1st. That trust was broken. And they followed basically tyrannical orders, and they moved aggressively on a peaceful people. And that is just unacceptable at every level. I mean, us three got handled, very roughly. And it just, it has to sit, we deeply in the psyche of all the law enforcement that participated in that. And we are just going to keep coming back again and again, over and over, and stand in peaceful non-resistance to us and say, stand with us. Stand for the Constitution, stand for the First Amendment, stand against tyrannical orders. We have the right to assemble peacefully. We have the right to stand on our state's highest public town square and redress our grievances, especially in a situation that we're under now, which is, the emergency orders and an essential tyranny, especially when people are suffering and hurting on this. That is when it's most important. And on that ground, in this state, our First Amendment rights should be most fervently protected. And so we will keep holding them to their oath. We will keep standing there protecting it. And there does have to be a lot of healing because, this is what I want to say. Is there really even a human alive right now that isn't facing really hard decisions? I understand that this is their job, and they can call in sick, or they can go honestly and work for a county or something, because you know how hard it is for a decision for someone who has to open their business against current executive orders that make them a criminal, unlawfully make them a criminal. That is the decision people had to make, and it was not easy. This is the decision that people are going to have to make each and every day of how to get through this, how to step through without the support that should be there to protect them, to have the right to their livelihood. Well, the officers are going to have to make that same kind of a decision themselves. They're going to have to look deep in their soul and figure out, because right now, this is an unprecedented moment in the history of humanity.
Okay.
And, you know,
And think about think about,
I know we know that everybody mostly knows that I'm not quite on the same page as you guys when it comes to the officers. And me going on Thursday
well, me too. I mean, I'm
going
in there,
on Thursday
but I'm
is going to be more of for me, not so much for them. And if they want to, call in sick, or if they want to cross the line, we absolutely welcome them. But like I said on my previous post, if they decide not to, it's not going to stop the revolution that's coming. And, we have to go back. I will do the best I can and pray on it and try to, not so much even forgive at this point because it's a little too fresh. But I think we need to go and let those officers know. I know there was a lot of officers that were they looked like they were ready to step out of line, but we have to remember they have their families too. And, it's really it's a battle. It's an inner battle that they're having to deal with right now. So a lot of them made the wrong choice, and I'm not going to sit there and beg them to come and be on our side, but I'm also not going to write them all off and say, forget every single police officer. I've had bad experiences with them, but it doesn't stop me from seeing that there are some really great officers that we have in CHP. And it's time that we go kind of deal with what happened and continue to move on, because we have a huge battle on our hands. It's not with the officers either. It's with Newsom. Every anger that you have, that should be directed at Newsom. He's a tyrant, and he should be tried for crimes against humanity.
And so
everybody has a hard decision right now. Do I open my business? Do I go into the store without a mask on? Do I stand down and not enforce the county public health officers' orders or the governor's? These are all hard decisions everyone has before them. Where will I draw the line? What will I accept? Where will I protect? And law enforcement at every level, whether it be state or county, has a really big decision before them, just like every person does, on how they're going to interface in this world right now.
So we need to wrap it up, and I just want to say, somebody made a comment that, does anybody know that somebody did lose their job on the 1st? Somebody did choose to stand down. And that's important to realize. It's one at a time. And again, you're never going to stand down unless you have the courage of your convictions and you see it modeled in others. So we have to set that model. Yes, there were people who did egregious things to us on the 1st. If anything, Denise, Tara, and myself, we were targeted. They were exceedingly excessive with us. We can't even tell you how horrific it was, how we were mishandled on purpose, as an example, as fear and coercion for everybody else. And so that is why we are standing solidly and coming back together on the 7th to heal, because we are not going to allow Governor Newsom to use these officers as pawns for his quest of taking over California. That's what this comes down to. The officers are human beings. They have wives and children, and we are standing for them as well. I know this is a huge step of faith that we're asking people to do. So that's what I'm going to close with.
So please remember our link to purchase the $20 tickets or $40 tickets for a family, and even donate $3 to the buses, is freedomangels.eventsmart.com. You can also find us on YouTube under Freedom Angels. And every day we do a live at 5, Monday through Friday, discussing freedom and liberty in the state of California and across the nation. If you have Telegram, which is an app available on iPhone or Android, you can download that and then find our chat, which is Freedom Angels Foundation, where we have calls to action. And as soon as we get a website up, we will let you guys know what the website is as a landing space in case Facebook decides to take us down. Is there anything else you ladies would like to say? All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock California time. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.